course, clear saffron surge in Mumbai. The final tally, as we give it to you this evening, the Shiv Sena marginally ahead with 84 seats. The BJP coming in a close second at 82. In the fight for the BMC, couldn't get more interesting. The final result didn't come in until very late in the evening, past 7 o'clock, when one last ward's verdict had to be decided with a lottery. With this fractured mandate, now all eyes are on the Shiv Sena and the BJP. Just to bring you an update on those numbers that are going to pop up on your screen, and these are numbers from across the state. You'll see in Pune, the BJP completely sweeping at 89. The NCP, which is the incumbent in Pune, settling at 30. The Shiv Sena at 12 and the Congress at 11. That's the Pune Municipal Corporation. The Nagpur Corporation, the BJP, a clear winner at 101. Coming in second is the Congress at 28. But Nagpur, of course, was a given, being a stronghold of both the BJP and the RSS and home ground for Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. The BMC, which is on your screen, that's the final tally. 84 for the Shiv Sena, 82 for the BJP, 31 for the Congress, and 9 for the NCP, 7 for the MNS. We're going to take a quick break. Before I go into break, that's the Thane Municipal Corporation, which has always been a Shiv Sena stronghold. The Shiv Sena has 67. The NCP in Thane has 34. The BJP coming in third at 23. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll come back with the best possible panel that one could put together on the BMC. That's on the other side. We'll find out what happens next. Who will run our magnificent city? Don't go anywhere. Well, this is the Urban Debate. I'm Faye D'Souza. We're talking about the big BMC election. What happens next? Who's going to rule this magnificent city? We're joined on the show, Aarti Sathe and Hitesh Jain, both spokespeople of the BJP. Sanjay Jha, spokesperson of the Congress. Clyde Crasto, representing the NCP. Milind Mhaske, project director of the Praja Foundation. We have Sujata Anandan, senior journalist, also author, who wrote a book on the Shiv Sena. Kumar Ketkar, senior journalist, who predicted very accurately 2 days ago the actual result that we're seeing today, and Rishi Agarwal is an environmentalist who's been fighting various very important issues in the city of Mumbai. And my focus on this discussion is for the viewers who are watching at home, especially for those people who came out and voted. They're going to want to know what happens now at 84 and 82. Who does what next? I'm going to open up with opening arguments. Mr. Ketkar, I'm obviously going to give the floor to you because you earned it fair and square, having predicted quite rightly between 80 and 90 for both parties. What happens next, Mr. Ketkar?
Well, actually, you will see, if you count the numbers properly, divided they stand and united they fall. Okay. Because 84 plus 82 is 166. And they fought divided. Last time, 2012, they fought together and they got 113. Yes. So that clearly means that if the saffrons are divided, they get more votes. And definitely in this particular case, they were attacking each other with venom, with poison, and it almost gave an impression that the government is going to fall. Yes. But the question is, how can the government fall? Because nobody wants elections. Nobody is sure that what will happen in next elections. So they will inevitably have to make a compromise with each other, because both of them have common enemy called Congress. Actually, Congress has been decimated significantly, and yet both of them consider Congress as the main enemy, Congress and NCP sometimes, and therefore they will have to come to some terms, some understanding, and elect mayor and standing committees to run the corporation for another 5 years. And in between there will be 2019 Lok Sabha election and assembly election. They will stay together. Fighting they will stay. Fighting they will go, but fighting they will continue.
Well, so obviously, are you saying that this was completely the election formula of divide and thrive, which we've seen them test out in the KDMC earlier, now in the big the BMC
well, I'm
elections?
not saying it was theatre. I'm not saying it was planned. Okay. Because the BJP clearly wanted to finish Shiv Sena in BMC, because they wanted to control the capital, Mumbai's commercial capital, in their complete hands. They didn't want Shiv Sena at all. Right. And that's why Narendra Modi and Amit Shah were very clear right from beginning. Actually, during assembly election also, they split and fought independently. If at that time, if BJP had got 22 more seats, they would not have come together in the government at all. So this was their second experiment to fight alone, and they failed. So BJP has actually failed though it has won so many corporations elsewhere and it has got 84 seats here, their main objective was Mumbai, which has 2 crore people, that Mumbai and Thane together, and the other corporations together don't have even 1 crore people.
Right.
So in terms of microcosm called Mumbai region of India, BJP has not really done well, though they can claim to have done well by quoting the rest of Maharashtra elections.
Right. So I will take this question to the BJP representatives, but very quickly asking you this, Mr. Ketkar, that obviously the BJP has been celebrating. Our reporters have been at their headquarters, the crackers going off and they're celebrating all day. But the truth is that someone's at 84 and someone's at 82, and is there really a second place in an election like this? So you're not reading this as a complete victory.
No, it is not a complete victory, but BJP has definitely a reason to celebrate. There is no doubt they can celebrate because of other corporations that they won, and perhaps in the heart of their heart they did not even expect 84. Though I was sure they would get between 80 and 90. BJP itself was, I think, expecting just about 60 seats, maybe internally,
Right,
or maybe they expected their own majority. But their own expectation and ambition of getting their own majority has not been fulfilled, and therefore in that particular case the celebration is slightly misplaced.
All right, let me take this to Aarti Sathe. Aarti Sathe, the BJP obviously reading this as a complete win. Kumar Ketkar saying that he disagrees. The celebration would have been slightly premature, the fact that you did not achieve the full majority that the BJP set out to do very clearly. Mr. Fadnavis making various statements saying we don't need an ally, we can go at it on our own. Various accusations being made about the lack of transparency with the ally. Now the BJP is still going to need an ally one way or the other, Aarti.
Well, to my mind, this is a clear and clean victory as far as the BJP is concerned. Look at the complete sweep in the rest of the Maharashtra corporations, and also the fact that we have jumped from our last tally significantly, almost doubled up our tally. So to our minds, this is a complete victory as far as we are concerned. And the mandate of people for transparency and accountability, I think, has converted into votes as far as BJP is concerned. On the other issue, whether we need an ally, how the mechanics of the entire formation of the government, I think let's leave that for some time away. At the center and the state, we are very much together. But what happens next is a decision which the party high command and everybody with consultation with senior people will take. I think at this point of time, we really want to be in that celebratory mode for some time, and we want to revel in the fact that our party workers and Mr. Fadnavis being the front runner in the campaign have worked so hard, and people have given us a clear mandate. I think for us it's a clean victory.
Well, Sujata Anandan, here's the interesting thing. Both parties, and we've been talking to them all day, have left it open-ended about any possible alliance. They're both saying that, it's the party leaders who will decide. We don't want to actually comment at this point, which means that they're not closing the door on the possibility of that alliance. And in the meantime, they're still trading accusations. The Sena did come out today and repeatedly say that the BJP used money, the BJP used power that they shouldn't have. The BJP's Ashish Shelar came out today in his press conference and said the Congress and the Sena together did what he called match fixing. So, while the door is open, it seems to be narrowing with every passing hour, and that passageway of the possibility of an alliance seems more and more unlikely. How are you reading into everything that we're hearing from these parties?
No, I don't think it is unlikely. They will continue to trade these charges for the next 3-4 days, probably even a week or 10 days. But eventually they know that they have to get together, because otherwise who will they go with? The NCP, the Congress, the MNS, the independents, they simply just don't have the numbers for that, and these two parties have the numbers. Yes, there is a lot of bitterness amongst both of them, and yes, like Kumar said, the BJP tried to destroy the Shiv Sena. The Sena is not going to forget that in a hurry, but the common sentiment, I met some common people today, and they said, if we put it in Marathi, their feeling is that, this was a fixed match between the Sena and the BJP, tu radaicha, me maraicha. That is what they believe,
Yes.
So eventually they will come together, just the manner in which it took some time to come together in the assembly, they will definitely
Do you believe
come
it was
together.
a fixed match between the Sena and the BJP?
No, I don't think so. There was a lot of acrimony. Uddhav Thackeray ended up calling the BJP as gundas, and the BJP ended up calling them as mafia.
Yes.
So, will the gundas and the mafiosi come together? That is a question which the common man will be asking. I mean, I don't think it was a fixed match. The acrimony was definitely there, and the hostility was also there, and each tried to surge ahead, but it has not happened.
So you think now they'll have to sheepishly come back together again?
Yes, they will have to eat crow and come back.
No, because they cannot live without each other. That's the problem. Politically, they cannot live without each other. It was not a fixed match. Shiv Sena also wanted its own majority, and if Shiv Sena had its own majority, they would have waited for UP Punjab to come out, and then they would have withdrawn the support of the government. But because they could not, Shiv Sena did not achieve its ambition, BJP also did not achieve its ambition, so both of them have to stand together. Exactly opposite is the case with Congress. Congress and NCP, when they divide, they fall, both of them. And when BJP and Sena fall, they actually come together in this number of seats.
Let's bring in Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, Kumar Ketkar in his opening statement said the Congress has been completely disseminated from this particular election and from various other positions that they held in the state of Maharashtra. What's going on in Congress headquarters? We saw Mr. Nirupam hand in his resignation, but also reluctantly and in a sort of frowny manner said there were people within the party who worked against him. There was a lot of infighting. So I can imagine that would really sort of demoralize the cadre that worked on this election.
Faye, while congratulating the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shiv Sena for the win in today's elections, I can't deny the hard reality that as far as Mumbai is concerned, Mumbai has struggled over the last 20 years because of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Shiv Sena. So, the truth is that are we jumping from the frying pan, not into the fire, but into another frying pan? And that won't change simply because there is a public verdict that's gone in their favor. I take it as a challenge for the Congress party because we should have been the natural, credible alternative in the BMC elections. And I'm not going to shy away from telling you the hard truth, which is that for us, this is a very solid opportunity lost. Because you had the Shiv Sena and the BJP being mayors and deputy mayors together for the last 20 years. I don't want to repeat all the accusations we made against them because now it doesn't matter. But the truth is that the corruption or the inefficiency is the result of this political partnership. The fact that one called the other an extortionist, the other called the other one a gunda, has ultimately not had any impact, and I think the Congress party has to look within and do so very, very quickly because I believe that end of day we promised better governance but our communication never went out right. Now Mr. Sanjay Nirupam has highlighted some of the issues that obviously were hamstringing the party going forward, but the truth is that we had to create a political narrative. And the BJP and the Shiv Sena affair, what they did, I think very successfully, was to daily create this headline of the fact that both of them were the frontline contenders and it was between them that they were going to share the spoils. I think somewhere down the line we failed in providing a very intelligent and a smart communication strategy, and clearly the people haven't found us to be the party that could have provided a very solid alternative model. I think it's time for us to really do some serious reflection on what we need to get back into the political mainstream, which we will. Because the one silver lining is that we are doing better, I believe, in the Zilla Parishad and the Panchayat Samitis in the rural areas of Maharashtra. But the fact that we haven't done well in Mumbai and even the other metropolitan cities and the other municipal corporations, I think is a serious message to the party that we need to get our house in order.
Well, that's very gracefully put, Sanjay Jha. I'll take this to Hitesh Jain. Hitesh Jain, everyone's pointing out the comments about gundas and extortionists, and there were a lot of insults that were traded in Marathi through the entire election process. Now, this is very likely the party that the BJP is going to have to work with one way or the other within the BMC. Is this all water under the bridge when it comes to elections? Is this how elections function? Or none of it to be taken seriously?
The problem with Congress is they are too arrogant and they don't learn from the mistakes. In the afternoon, they were gushing and gloating when they saw the gap between the Sena and the BJP, and they started congratulating Shiv Sena, thinking that BJP has not done, so start congratulating Sena. Second, they do a covert alliances with Shiv Sena. It is not that Congress and Shiv Sena has not done alliances. Although the Congress and NCP were in powers, they were having alliances with Shiv Sena.
What
Congress
alliances
and
are these
NCP
that
were
you're
in
referring
alliance
to
and they
exactly?
were fighting the election separately. So now in the municipal corporations,
You're
Congress and
tilting at the
NCP have
windmills.
also, Congress and Shiv Sena has done the alliances in so many panchayats and Jilla Parishad. I feel like, let me make a point. Now, as far as Congress, who's claiming, and they have been, they are grudgingly accepting their route, they should answer from 99 to 2014, who was in the state government? Congress. For last 10 years, 2004 to 2014, they were having 6 MPs in both the terms. So you have all the MPs. You are in the state government. You are running for 15 years. You are in the central government. Still you say that if Bombay has a problem, then what were you doing? So does that mean to say that being in the state government, you are inefficient? You were, you were not able to respond? I mean, you had everything gunning. You had, the fact is that you have been routed. The fact is, Congress.
My dear friend, we are talking about the municipal
they try
elections.
Some strategy here, like in Uttar Pradesh. In Uttar Pradesh, when they have no guts to challenge BJP.
Okay, Hitesh Jain, let me just refocus the question that I asked you. Let's look at the question from a different angle, which is that if they were allegations of corruption being traded
I think I can make out the BJP
election.
suffers from a Congress obsession.
Right. If there were allegations of corruption being traded during the election, corruption is obviously illegal, it's a crime, and if there is someone who has information about a crime, you are legally obliged to disclose that information to the law and order authorities. So, if the BJP made allegations of the lack of transparency and possible corruption within the Shiv Sena, now would be a good time to actually disclose that information, Hitesh Jain.
Why not? As far as the issues are concerned, we have raised, and we will take the issues to the logical conclusion. We are not saying that like how Congress used to talk about NCP's irrigation, and when NCP used to show them eyes, they used to throw the fight below the carpet. We are not one of those. If the issues are there, we are going to deal with it. We are going to deal with it.
The story is about the Sena and the BJP today, not about the Congress and the NCP.
On the issues of transparency and development.
All those charges of.
The story is about the Sena and the BJP, not about the Congress and the NCP. They are decimated, they are pulverized.
You're actually, I'm going to allow Clive to come in before anybody else calls him pulverized right now. I'll give you an opportunity to respond. Clive, go ahead.
The story is the stellar performance of BJP in the BMC election.
We've looked at the numbers, Hitesh Jain, and we are hoping that someone from the Sena will join us on this on this panel as well. And I want to make something clear that while the BJP is celebrating, let's not ignore the fact that there is a Shiv Sena that has 2 seats more than the BJP. So while it might be a thumping victory for the BJP in comparison to where you came from, it is not a clear victory. There is another party that has 84 seats. That's one thing we have to acknowledge. The second thing that we're talking about is while the BJP and the Sena spent the last couple of months making this fight completely a BJP-Sena fight, you can't change the narrative now and make it a BJP-Congress thing.
Shiv Sena told us that you cannot contest more than 60 seats.
Okay, fair enough. Clyde, I'm going to give you an opportunity to also talk about what happened in Pune.
And the spectacular performance of BJP.
Okay, spectacular performance from BJP, let's grant you that. Clyde, Pune, unfortunately, the NCP came in, you were the incumbent. The BJP has taken Pune, the BJP has taken Nasik, it has taken Nagpur. Is the NCP's influence on Maharashtra waning? What happened?
Well, before I start talking, and both Hitesh and Aarti actually pounce on me saying that I don't have the numbers to talk today. I just want to congratulate Aarti. We've had too many arguments, but today I would like to congratulate you on a good performance. And my ever-smiling friend Hitesh, who's smiling now, got a much broader smile than every day. And I think, Hitesh, you now need to actually relax a bit because you won. So
Clyde,
congratulations.
I will not bring the number story, don't worry.
Congratulations to you. Okay, and and to answer your question,
Clyde, I'm not going to jump. Of course, whether numbers or no numbers, you have a say.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Clyde, go ahead.
No, Faye, to answer your question, yes, we've done very badly, whether it's Pune, Pimpri-Chinchwad, or here itself in Mumbai. Yes, it's time for us to accept that we've done very badly, and yes, we are lacking somewhere. So it's time for us to introspect and get together and regroup together and try to work out a way where we can go back to the people and make sure that we serve them well, and when the next elections come in, we'll probably have better numbers. So today, yes, we accept that we've done badly, and it's about time we introspect and go further. But like I told you earlier on your debate that I was here, it's like when someone loses a race or loses a game, you don't give up. You work harder, you train harder to come back. So that's what our party is going to do now.
All right, let's actually focus on specific issues. Mr. Ketkar, I want to come to you with this. The Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray in his press conference cited demonetization as one of the reasons why the Shiv Sena did so well. He said obviously people voted for the Sena because of the pain they went through demonetization. Do you see that as one of the factors? Do you agree?
I think Uddhav is right. Whatever may be their political, ideological position, in this particular case, he is right. In the sense that he is saying that those who voted against BJP or not for BJP were all voting against demonetization. And which is quite obvious because Shiv Sena's single most campaign was about demonetization. Unfortunately, Congress and NCP were not as strident as the Shiv Sena was about demonetization.
No, sir, but sorry to cut you, but right here on this channel, we've been talking a lot about demonetization all the time. And face proved to the fact that how much we've been.
No, you are right. You were talking on the channel. Shiv Sena was talking on the street.
No, we were also on the street.
No,
yes, sir.
No. Congress and NCP did not go.
No, next time when I come in, probably I'll bring you a lot of proof that how we do. And also, one more point I'd like to make. On your channel and many other channels, we spoke so much about recalibration of the ATM machines. Look what has happened in Delhi. The ATM machine is giving out like plain notes. So if someone could, calibrate or whatever, make a note that could come out a regular ATM machine, I don't understand why the calibration took so much time. So there's a question mark on that aspect.
There's still question marks, but the point that Mr. Ketkar is making quite clearly is that there was not enough being said door to door, and that's the strong point of the Sena. Sujata, that's the strong
Clyde,
point. Yes,
sir. Just one small point.
Yes, sir.
I am not saying you did not campaign.
Okay, sir.
I am not saying you did not object. I am not saying you did not bring the shortcomings of the entire demonetization campaign. What I am saying is, Congress and NCP together were well entrenched in the city because of three segments of population in Mumbai. One was the established middle class and working class and the migrant population. Now, working class has gone because we have become a service sector city. From stock market to Bollywood to pubs and clubs and real estate and everything, stock market. So, we have become a city of a different kind than it was when Congress and NCP, at that time NCP wasn't there, Congress and the communists were in power. Working class has disappeared. Middle class has switched its loyalty to BJP, and the migrant population, which used to be one of the main bases of the Congress and NCP have not been able to attract them.
Right.
To them, it was more necessary.
With an opportunity like demonetization that was presented
was
to them.
More than they were affecting the middle class, well-off middle class and the credit card, debit card, checks, everything. So that class, which was migrant population, small trader, not big trader, they had to be directly targeted for demonetization. That was not done, which Shiv Sena did.
Which Shiv Sena did. All right, Aarti Sathe, do you believe that demonetization hurt the chances of the BJP on some level? Because let's be honest, the BJP went in assuming or hoping or aiming for a full majority, which would have been 114. You've settled at 82, one of which came from a lottery. So, had demonetization not happened when it did, would the BJP have done better, Aarti?
No, not at all. In fact, I feel in spite of some segments of the society being against demonetization, I think in spite of that, BJP has, steered clear of that and still, comfortably come up with such a clear win as far as we are concerned. And finally, I think there were a lot of goods also of the demonetization which people saw, because demonetization ultimately was for the purpose of rooting out corruption, rooting out black money, rooting out everything which was really nefarious. And I think that worked more in our favor rather than really working as a negative as far as the BJP is concerned. So I am quite confident that demonetization did not come in our way at all. Had it really come in our way, our numbers wouldn't have jumped by double. We would have probably, been there somewhere at 60, 65, but we have actually doubled our tally. And at the same time, there are certain Shiv Sena loyalist voters who have remained loyalist to Shiv Sena, and hence their tally and our tally is it's just a difference of 2. If demonetization had worked against us, maybe the difference would have been much higher. But clearly here the demonetization has in fact worked in our favor, because here people are seeing that as a party, not only have we taken steps to root out corruption, but at the same time the same formula or the same principles are going to be followed as far as BMC is concerned. So I'm very confident that Modi ji's campaign on demonetization has in fact worked in the favor of BJP rather than against it.
In fact, you know, Sanjay Jha, one of the things
really
that
the class which probably would have got affected has also voted for us.
Sanjay Jha, one of the things that Mr. Ketkar pointed out was the fact that the Congress or the NCP didn't take that message or didn't take that opportunity as far as they could have as far as demonetization was concerned. If we take a look at Nagpur, and Nagpur is very interesting, because while it has always been a BJP stronghold, it's also a largely business community. It is a city run mostly by family businesses who would have been hurt quite hard by demonetization, but Nagpur has given the BJP a thumping win. 101 seats coming out of Nagpur. Sanjay Jha,
Maharashtra we have won.
Maharashtra. That is true. So did the Congress perhaps lose that opportunity, Sanjay Jha, in your opinion, to take that message?
Smaller traders also have voted
we are touching 100 in Pune. Pune is also a city of entrepreneurs and traders.
Yeah. No, to be fair, Hitesh Jain, Pune is currently a city of IT engineers.
Amravati in the rural area.
Pune is also a city of IT engineers, all who have moved there to work in the IT sector. So it's not completely business and farmer anymore. That might have been the case 10 years ago. But the question was to Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, did the Congress miss an opportunity here to take its message door to door?
Well, you know, in all honesty, I think we will have to do a very serious diagnosis of what is the messaging we finally did. Because end of day, I think a lot of time was spent in terms of pointing out that the BJP and the Shiv Sena have effectively destroyed a great cosmopolitan city of Mumbai through the worst possible standards of governance. But clearly that message did not go through enough. And I believe, and I'll be very honest with you, I live in Mumbai. I'm not just saying this as a political representative of my party, but I am actually dismayed at the fact that, you know, the Congress party could not create that third alternative story. So it's something that we'll definitely talk about. I believe demonetization is actually a very serious national issue, because as you have seen the figures today by the State Bank of India, which has forecasted that the Q3 GDP is going to be down at 5.8%. That's a significant slump. And you have the latest forecast that the Indian economy is going to be down at 6.5%. The real impact, I believe, will be felt more appreciably in the 5 state elections that we'll talk about on the 11th of March. I do believe the cities have suffered. Definitely the marginal people in society, the house helps, the shopkeepers, the farmers, they have really taken a huge negative brunt of demonetization. But the stories that I'm getting from Uttar Pradesh and what I heard even from Uttarakhand, etc., that there has been terrible dismay at the ground level in terms of the inconvenience caused. So I think probably on the 11th of March, we'll get a more solid and a fundamental verdict in terms of where demonetization finally went. But in the long term, I do believe it's going to damage the economy for at least another 6 months. So really the negative repercussions of this, which will have a political fallout on the BJP, will probably happen with every succeeding month for the next 6 months to 9 months.
All right, so obviously round 1 of this election post demonetization goes to the BJP.
We're
still looking at round 2, round 3.
On part of Congress.
Yeah, Rishi Agarwal has worked on many issues in the city of Mumbai.
Well, I'm not surprised. I think Sanjay Jha will see Congress going below 20 and get his answers on 11th March. When the UP results will come out, he will get the answer.
What I just realized that, BJP has got victory and you've got BJP in stereo today. It's in stereo. So like from one side is Aarti and from the other side is Hitesh.
I want to 1 second, Hitesh. I want to bring in Rishi Agarwal. Rishi, before the elections, we talked about issues like the Save RA campaign, which you believed was working against the state government and against the BJP. And there were a lot of other issues which got citizens very involved and citizens very angry. But that hasn't popped up. It hasn't shown in the results at all, Rishi.
So in another scenario, it would have been an anti-incumbency vote. But we're clearly not seeing anti-incumbency. And in my opinion, it's a very cynical vote. We might also call it a very pragmatic vote. And like that saying goes, that in nature there can never be any vacuum. And the fact remains that Congress and NCP have just not been able to provide any kind of a credible face. In my opinion, this election was all about the hoardings which popped up in the past 30 days. If you just compare the hoardings, there was a face to the parties. There was a Fadnavis, there was a Uddhav Thackeray, they were speaking out, there was a face. Congress had no face to show. It had absolutely tired kind of hoardings, picking up some issues, but they were, I mean, whatever be the reason, in fighting, etc.
It had no money also.
It had no, so it was
And
completely
that's a different
fragmented.
question to bring
And so
up,
so the voter is at the end of the day a very shrewd, pragmatic entity, and he or she both realizes that, and it's also a case of Stockholm syndrome. Frankly speaking, we know that we are captive now, and it makes sense to be friendly with the captor rather than annoy the captor. So what's happening in Mumbai is very unfortunate, I feel.
Do you see the captor as the BJP here?
BJP Shiv Sena as the captors. I mean, the only time when the equation will change is if we see an Aam Aadmi party ever coming into the equation, which is now 5 years away, and we really don't know what's going to happen.
2 years away.
Yeah, I mean 2 years away if the state election.
The municipal elections.
But from a municipal election point of view, 5 years away, and 5 years is way too long in the future to predict anything right now. But yeah, I think it's a very cynical vote from the voter.
It's a cynical vote, and it's a display of Stockholm syndrome from the citizens of Mumbai. But there's something we must talk about, and this is another allegation that was swung about quite a bit post-elections, of where the money came from. Now, obviously, the Election Commission has a cap on the kind of money that every candidate can spend. But there were hoardings, there were radio ads, there were newspaper ads that did the rounds. Sujata, I'll come to you with this. And the cap doesn't extend, there's a loophole here. The cap doesn't extend to cover what political parties or state governments or central governments can spend. So is that something that should be questioned post this election, of where the money came from and what kind of money was being spent?
You asking me?
Yes. Yes, that question should be raised. In fact, Ashok Chavan, the Maharashtra Pradesh Congress president, has already raised it. His estimate is that the BJP spend about 100 crores, and he's asked if they spend it in cash, by credit card, debit card, check, what, that people have a right to know. But, I would say that they spent almost double that, maybe 180 to 200 crore. And the Shiv Sena probably spent about 40 to 50 crore. They had far less money. And the Congress had absolutely no money. Somebody in the Congress told me that, builders had promised them to give them some money before the demonetization, but after demonetization they withdrew because they didn't have any money. They had to depend upon the candidates. Candidates have money, candidates want to win, so you spend your money, you put up your hoardings, you put up your posters and win the election. So Congress was in an absolutely dismal state this time.
So, Kumar Ketkar, where did the money come from? If the Congress didn't have the money post-demonetization, how did the BJP and the Sena get the money?
Well, actually, it may sound another cynical comment to make.
Please do.
But the demonetization actually helped money to be mobilized for BJP. Because BJP knew it in advance that demonetization is coming.
It's good that you said that.
And so demonetization, if Aarti is saying demonetization is welcome, it is because the BJP managed to get that money even when everybody else was demonetized. They were remonetized even before the election.
All right, so we're all going to have to now take a moment to allow.
Cynical. I don't have evidence.
We'll first Aarti, then Hitesh. Aarti, respond to what Mr. Kumar Ketkar has just said.
No, he just said he doesn't have an evidence, so clearly it's a baseless allegation that we knew about the demonetization and hence we remonetized ourselves. Clearly not. Through legitimate means, whatever funding came and party supporters, party
buying of land?
So where did the money come from then?
Another case when West Bengal just before
let's stay with the topic that we're talking about. Where did the money come from? Aarti, if both the Congress and the NCP turned around and said we don't have money to spend on this election right now, we've not been able to raise the funds, where did the BJP get the estimated 100 crore or 150 or 180 crore rupees to spend on this election?
It's estimated, right? The figures are not all correct.
Huge hoardings cost money.
Because somebody said 100 crores.
Hoardings cost money, radio spots cost money.
I think it is 200 crores. But point is,
to be fair, Aarti Sathe, this channel is part of the Times group and we know what media costs in a city like Mumbai.
There are candidates who are wealthy enough to spend the money out of their own pocket and in the limits what was permissible to them.
No, hang on. The limit was 5 lakh rupees per
party. They are not supposed to spend more.
Yeah, there's a limit.
5 lakh rupees. The limit is 5 lakh rupees.
They can donate to charity.
There's a limit. There's a cap on every candidate. have to limit.
There's a cap.
spend
There's a cap,
limitations,
yeah.
In the limit.
See,
There
Devendra
is a cap
Fadnavis'
right
There are no
now.
campaign
There is a
PACs over
cap
here
of 5 lakh
which are
people.
speaking
Where
on
is
your
it?
behalf.
And there were several campaigns. There was the bullet train campaign, after which there was the Me Khara
Can I
Marathi
answer?
campaign.
Fee.
There were several campaigns that ran. And to be fair, Aarti Sathe, this is the Times, this channel belongs to the Times Group, and we are fully aware of what media costs in the city of Mumbai, whether it is on the radio or the hoardings or the front page of the Mirror or the Times of India. So, their estimate is very easy to arrive at to find out what that costs. Sanjay Jha,
Let's say we have a larger support base. Let's say BJP has a larger support base, which
Well-wishers.
of well-wishers who one hopes all made their well-wishing
contributions
contributions in check and through
debit card and credit card, yes.
See, can I answer the question?
Yes,
why
yes,
are you
Hitesh Jain, go ahead.
why is the panel and the anchor being so grudging? And see, why is
Well,
why are people so
Hitesh Jain, that's
grudgingly
completely
accepting
unfair given the fact that there are two
performance?
BJP
When you-
representatives
when you
on this
do not
panel.
have the stereo today.
Grudging at all. But go ahead,
It's
respond,
completely unfair to
Hitesh.
make the charge, because when you
We're
do not
jealous.
have anything to speak, when you do not have anything to speak, you start talking about demonetization. If the results would have been otherwise, they would have said your campaign has fallen. Now you are talking about, at the end of the day, we are the political parties. We file our returns with the
Fair.
income tax.
I want to
At the end
respond
of the
to
day, candidates are concerned. They also have to maintain the accounts, and they will file the accounts with the Election Commission of India. So it is not something that, this is something has fallen. And what is this whole cry, this thing that we have not been able to raise the money? Then when they were in the power, when we were in the opposition from 2009 to 2014, at that time
Congress
also
did
they
not
were
get any
complaining,
money
"How are
during
you
the
getting
2014
money?
elections?
You're
It is a
spending the
fact.
money on
It
the
is a stated
campaign."
fact.
The fact is, the Congress was making an allegation. Congress was making an allegation in 2013 and 14 also, when they were power in the state and the center.
Okay,
How
so
is
hang
BJP
on.
getting the money?
Sujata
Now, come on,
Anandan,
in
are
the
you
power,
convinced with the
investigate how we
argument
are
that
getting the
Hitesh
money.
Jain is giving
The
us, that we're
fact is,
just breaking
people are
up
with
things
us.
to talk about because we've run out of
Don't
things to talk
overlook
about
the
grudgingly?
important
We don't want to talk
point
about the
that
victory
people
of
are
the
with us.
BJP?
Fair, can I
No, I
respond to
don't.
Sanjay,
I don't
analyzing, I
agree
don't
with
think
that
that,
at all.
I mean,
I think
we are
all of us
analyzing it
congratulated the
correctly.
BJP and the Shiv Sena on their win. We are just analyzing what has happened. I mean, we are not grudging the BJP its victory. And all said and done, it is 2 seats short of the Shiv Sena. They
Is
have to
that
put
an
together
analyze?
that alliance.
That Congress has no money.
And
BJP
the rest
put
of it
this
has
thing-
to be discussed. We cannot
did we
go
stop
on beating
Congress
a
from
drum
raising
for
But
the
the truth
BJP.
is, if there are
And this
allegations that
argument
have been
we could have
made,
gone to
then
the developer, they have
evidence
not
of that
given the
allegation
money.
must be asked for. Sanjay Jha, there were several allegations that were made during this election, and let me be honest, these allegations were all made between the BJP and the Sena of each other.
Absolutely.
So all we are
Yeah,
asking
it's
for
not
now
Congress which was
is,
making the
before anybody decides what further alliances
So
are,
for
let's see.
transparency's sake,
They shouldn't come together.
Both of them should actually provide evidence.
Provide
against each
evidence
other.
of those
And if they were making those
allegations.
allegations, they shouldn't come
Absolutely.
together as well.
Yeah. Sanjay Jha, go ahead.
Yeah, Faye, let me tell you something. I think there is something called as grace in victory, and I clearly find it very conspicuously missing in the BJP spokesperson.
I agree.
But the truth of the matter, and he should recognize that, tomorrow is a new day and it's going to be business as usual. People are going to ask questions, and that's our responsibility. Even if the Congress is today going to be 31 seats, we are an opposition. We have got the mandate from 31 people. And Mr. Jain, you want to hear the technical truth? This is called as a hung verdict. No political party has been given a mandate to govern Mumbai. If you want to know the hard truth, that's a reality. You can gloat over your 81
It's a
seats,
cynical vote.
but that is the political truth. So don't get arrogant and carried away by the numbers. And the second point, yes, Faye, we have a right to ask the BJP this question, because the BJP acts in a very self-righteous manner on transparency and political funding. This is the same party that talks of transparency, makes accusations against Shiv Sena of being the most corrupt party under the sun, without telling the people of Mumbai. And I'm going to tell them today, this is a platform, and I'm going to tell the people of Mumbai even today, even if they have voted against us, that this same BJP has been in bed with the same Shiv Sena that is accuses of corruption. So these facts don't cease to exist. Let me tell you that a criminal wins an election, but that doesn't mean that the charges are waved away, Mr. Jain. So let's have a mature debate. I congratulate you on your victory, but please stop getting this condescending attitude either towards the other panelists or towards the anchor. We are not anti-national. We are not anti-national.
The BJP is in a permanent anti-Congress mode, even when the Congress has been flattened.
Sanjay Jha.
I don't know why the
problem
BJP is
for
in
your
a
party is People do not listen to the ground, but people listen to the people in the studio who are cocky and arrogant, and that is the reason Congress is getting decimating politically.
I just want to point out that until 2 days ago, the BJP's main rival and the BJP's, the target of all of the accusations was the Shiv Sena. And somehow, 2 days later, the guns are trained back onto the Congress, and we're going to try and get representation of the Shiv Sena on this.
I just want to say...
Can I say something? Mr. Ketkar, I think you should correct me if I'm wrong, but I get this very, feeling that somewhere BJP thinks that the Congress is going to support the Shiv Sena to form the numbers, therefore they are gunning for the Congress today. Because I've never seen Hitesh Jain in such a mode. He's been on an attacking mode right from the word go today. Hitesh, you got to relax, because I have a feeling that you are attacking Congress today because you have this feeling that Congress might support the Shiv Sena and they may form the government in the BMC.
I think
it's somewhere between the lines. This is what is happening today.
I think Jain's fears, if they are completely baseless, Congress will not support Shiv Sena at all, because Congress thinks nationally and Congress knows that if they support Shiv Sena here, tomorrow there's still 3 phases remaining in UP. If Congress supports Shiv Sena here, they will lose the elections in UP and Bihar.
Yes.
And
so
the entire North.
That's absolutely not possible.
I agree with that, but I also feel that the BJP and the Sena concentrated so much on each other that they allowed the Congress to win 31 seats.
You don't think the Congress was entitled to those 31 seats?
I thought they would win only about 10 or 15, they won 31 because they were left in peace to win those 31 seats.
All right, I have to take a very quick break, but we are going to come back and we'll talk to Milind Mhaske of Praja of what the expectations were from people going into this election and what finally turned out. 30 seconds and we'll be back. This is the Urban Debate. I'm Faye D'Souza. Thank you for staying with us. Of course, the big BMC election results are out, and those results will be on your screen in a second. What you're looking at right now are the Thane Municipal Corporation results, where we see the Shiv Sena retaining its stronghold in Mumbai. The Shiv Sena tallied at 84. Right up second next to it was the BJP at 82, the Congress coming in at third at 31. The question we are asking right now is, where are those allies going to be formed? And there was one interesting point that was pointed out, that is the BJP concerned about the fact that Shiv Sena will form an ally in the Congress, which Kumar Ketkar quite clearly said that he doesn't see that happening. Milind Mhaske of Praja, we've seen the allegations continue. The fact that Ashish Shelar said that the Congress and the BJP, that the Congress and the Sena worked together against the BJP, very clearly hinting that there was some sort of understanding going on there. How much stock would you put into that allegation?
Well, I think it was part of the process where they kind of traded allegations and all that. But now that the results are out, it's really inevitable that mostly both these parties will go together to form the government, and that's going to be the reality of Bombay, that we are going to have Sena BJP again coming to the power in the corporation. And now would be a time where we need to move on from the political upmanship and look towards how these parties are now going to govern the city and provide us better services. Now the field has to shift, the goalpost has to shift towards now the delivery of services, delivery of the manifestos, delivery of the promises that these parties have made towards the citizens.
Well said. The attention has to shift also from the media, perhaps starting tomorrow morning, from what is being said to what is being done, and making sure that these parties actually stick to their manifestos. Rishi Agarwal, if the BJP and the Sena come back together again, will the citizens of Mumbai forget everything that was said in the election and make their peace with their Stockholm Syndrome?
Well, whether they make peace or not, I am just hoping that at least they'll become more participatory and make them work towards accountability and transparency, which is what BJP has been saying, that it's a victory for that for them on those platforms. So I think, it's high time, because otherwise, it's like I have also said, that it's a very cynical mandate. I just hope that the voters just don't slip back into indifference and cynicism, because whatever be the mandate, I keep saying this, whichever party comes,
the voters came out in such large numbers. If you also count the 12 odd lakh people who weren't allowed to vote because their names were off the list, that's a large mandate coming in from Mumbai, which means people got interested this time. People felt that they wanted to come out and say their piece and have their say. So I want to hope that those people will continue to be interested.
So, see, continue to be interested is one aspect. I mean, Milind will bear me out. Over the past 15-20 years, what we are saying is voting is just one aspect, and that's what I've said in the previous show. It's just part of the continuum. In the next 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, are you going to be working with your municipal councillor? Are you going to be auditing how the money is being spent in your ward? Are you going to be participating on public transportation policy, on the solid waste management issues? Are you going to stick your neck out? Are you going to support advocacy groups? Those are the things which shape a democracy. We are far too limited to this whole business of voting and showing our fingers and saying that, okay, we've done our bit. That is just not doing your bit at all. If you're going to slip back, then, there's nobody else to blame but the public.
In fact, one of the things that an active or an interested citizen could do is locate the RTI activist in your neighborhood. And if you befriend the RTI activist, you'll find out the truth about a lot of things that will make your understanding of the government a lot clearer. Mr. Ketkar, I want to understand from you all of this, transparency that the BJP has offered us. There is an anti-corruption drive on in the BMC right now, which Mr. Ajay Mehta is conducting. How would you like to see this transparency play out from the BJP's point of view? Because however the BMC turns out, the BJP is still in the state government. Mr. Devendra Fadnavis is still our chief minister. He's still urban development minister, which means he has a say in how the city is planned. How would you like this transparency to actually play out on the ground?
Well, actually, Kirit Somaiya, the leading loudmouth campaigner of the BJP, was directly accusing Thackeray family of huge corruption. And then he had identified something like 100 contractors who were in league with Shiv Sena's corruption. Now is the time, if they believe in transparency, to identify those contractors and builders and whoever they are, industrialists or whoever they are, and attack the Thackeray family if you are truly genuine to your charge of corruption. Otherwise, you were lying that time and you are lying now.
Do you believe that the BJP will actually provide evidence?
Let BJP decide whether they were lying then or they are lying now. If they are true to their salt, they should say that Thackeray family was corrupt. They were earning money out of builders and real estate contractors. Then let them start out of transparency, inquiries and investigation of all those charges. And if mafias and gundas are coming together to run the Mumbai corporation, then it is like in Godfather film. All the mafias and gundas come together there and decide whether we should trade in drugs or not. And then finally they fall on whether to trade drugs or not. So it is like Godfather combined. So it is a Godfather alliance, and it is that Godfather alliance is going to run. It is not I am saying. I am not saying that it is a Godfather alliance.
Yes,
they are saying it.
Unless they come out with the evidence.
Gundas and mafias and gundas and mafias are coming together.
Absolutely.
So it's a Godfather alliance at their end. I am not accusing them of anything.
And also, Faye, if I may just add that this whole business of Mr. Ajay Mehta going after corruption, etc., this was all just a build up to the election strategy of making it seem as if we are serious about fighting corruption. So the real test will be, as Mr. Ketkar correctly says, now. Now let's see what you do, and that's the real test.
All right, Aarti Sathe, respond to that as a lawyer. Of course, if your party or Mr. Ashish Shelar has evidence against the Thackerays themselves or anybody else in the BMC, they have to, by law, come forward and offer that evidence. Will that be done now?
If you see actually our party manifesto, which has been released just before the elections, and it's not only because it's an election gimmickry that we have really indulged in that party manifesto, but clearly that party manifesto first lists out more than 25 measures which are going to be taken to ensure a transparent administration. And whatever and whoever comes under the ambit of those measures, so one minute, let me finish. So whoever and whatever situation may be who comes under the ambit of those measures which are going to be implemented, we will take action against those people, or we will surely investigate any charges which may have been alleged against them with proper evidence. But to say that this is just an election gimmickry, or to say that we are just selling this as a little advert to get votes, I think is completely incorrect. Because our manifesto starts with transparent administration. In the last 2 years, from the time BJP has come to power, and which I have repeatedly said on the show, the crackdown on corruption in the BMC BJP has been on our agenda it has been priority. The pothole issue or the BMC contractor issue, every issue we have taken up with full zeal. So to say that we have indulged in any sort of
specific question was about the allegations that were traded during the elections.
Whoever is indulging.
The specific question was about the allegations that were traded during the elections.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's why I said whoever is found guilty of any sort of corruption or corrupt activities, necessary action will be taken against them. I don't know who made what allegations. There are various allegations.
We'll give you a list
throughout the election campaigning. So we can't really point out and pick up. We can't really point out and pick up one allegation, X alleged against somebody, Y alleged against somebody. Ultimately, we live in a society which is made up of laws, and law is law has to prevail.
Okay,
and
one final word to Sanjay Jha before I wrap up.
Could be anything. So I think for me, I only strongly advocate rule of law.
Fair enough. Just to point out that we also live in a world where almost everything is recorded right now on video and posted on the internet. I've run out of time, but there is a very clear record in the press of who alleged what against whom, and we can actually put that list together and provide it to the BJP if that's the list that they're looking for. But like quite rightly pointed out by various people in this panel, we now have to focus on getting the job done, and there is a job to be done in Mumbai. The roads, the potholes, the the footpaths, the governance, the water supply, the schools, the hospitals, all of it needs to be fixed. All of it needs to be fixed. And now that we have someone to do it, we would like the politics now to take a back seat and the work to take a front seat, and we'll be looking forward to that. My personal commitment, on this channel is that we have those manifestos with us. We have every promise that was made in the election with us, and we are going to use it on a regular basis to ensure that the people who have been voted into power actually keep up those promises, and we will push it really hard because public memory may be short, but we record everything out here and we don't forget. Thanks for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Magicbricks Now. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magicbricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magicbricks Now.